Despite economic hardship, Wike allocates 10 billion naira for rent, furniture to Akpabio, Tajuddin, to others. To my dear listeners, from wherever you listen from, before I go into details, kindly please ensure you like, subscribe to this channel and share. Now the details. Good morning. The allocation is contained in the 288 billion naira supplementary budget President Bola Ahmed Tinubu transmit, transmitted to National Assembly in September, which was passed within 5 days by the lawmakers. The presiding officers of the National Assembly, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Speaker Abbas Tajuddin and their deputies, Barau Jibrin and Ben Kalu, were allocated 10 billion naira for rent and furniture in the 2024 supplementary budget of the FCT Premium Times investigation reviews. The budget item, titled Renting and Furnishing of Presiding Officers of the National Assembly, has the classification code 23010309 in the 288 billion naira supplementary budget President Bola Ahmed Tinubu transmitted to the National Assembly in September, which was passed within 5 days by the lawmakers. Under Nigeria's bicameral legislative system, there are 4 presiding officers of the National Assembly: the Senate President, the Speaker, the Deputy Senate President, and the Deputy Speaker. These 4 are the latest Nigerian government officials to receive lavish accommodation allowances on new housing projects from the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, whose generosity in the last 15 months includes a 21 billion naira residential mansion for Vice President Kashim Shettima. The Abuja minister also allocated 25 billion naira for the construction of houses for 40 judges. With the planned rent and furniture budget, Mr. Wike appears to have extended his generosity across the 3 arms of government: executive, judiciary, and legislature. The allocations come amidst the current economic hardships in Nigeria, which experts believe is due to the government policies of the regulation of the petroleum downstream sector and the devaluation of the naira. Within the last 3 weeks, dozens of Nigerians have died in stampedes while trying to collect food items. Support journalism driven by facts, created by Nigerians for Nigerians. Our, our thorough, researched reporting relies on the support of readers. The current administration has continued what many describe as lavish spending, while preaching austerity measures for most Nigerians. Some of these expenditures include $100 million presidential jet, debauched presidential yacht, luxurious sport utility vehicles for members of the National Assembly, and others. Mr. Wike has in the past been accused of using some of this generous spending on institutions as a subtle means of compromising them, but he has denied the allegations. According to Section 299 of the 1999 Constitution, the President is the governor of the FCT, while the National Assembly serves as its legislative arm. Also, Section 302 of the Constitution gives the President the power to appoint someone as the Minister of the FCT to act on his behalf. Mr. Wike, a prominent member of the opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP), was appointed by President Tinubu in what observers believe is a reward for the role the former Rivers State governor played during the presidential election in 2023. The Federal Capital Development Authority (FCDA) owns several public buildings in the FCT, including the National Assembly Complex and other structures through the Department of Public Buildings. Some of the buildings the department lists on its website include the Supreme Court Complex, the Presidential Complex, the Federal Ministry Building and Assembly Complex, and others. In 2022, the FCT spent over 42 billion naira to renovate part of the National Assembly Complex, despite public outrage by Nigerians over the expenditure. In the past, members of the National Assembly, including the four presiding officers, had their accommodations at the legislative quarters located in the Aquile area of Abuja. However, the buildings were sold under the monetization policy that started under Olusegun Obasanjo's administration. Initially, all the buildings were sold except those for the presiding.
Now we've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop by the comment section and let us know what your view is all about. Thank you for listening.